got something a little bit different for you today, guys, because sometimes it can be difficult for the renovators that I work with to understand the order that work happens in. So today I want to take you through how we renovated our master bedroom step by step from this to this. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing a crazy discovery that we made during the project. So stick around for that. But the question is, can I really share months of work in such a short video? Let's get going and see. Hi guys, I'm Fi, and if you're new here, I'm an interior designer sharing weekly videos to help you renovate and design your home confidently and affordably. We talk about the mistakes to avoid, how to save money on your project, and clever ways to make your design look seriously pro. So like and subscribe if you want to join me for our weekly design chats. Okay, first we need to wind the clock back to 2016 when we first came to view this property. We walked into this room and the estate agent actually said that one potential buyer felt an energy in here, which initially really spooked us out. I reckon it was that Narnia wardrobe and the cold vibe that the design gave off. What do you think? I mean, clearly we weren't put off by any ghosts or freaky deakies because we put our offer in and got the keys. And this room was the obvious choice for the master bedroom because of its size and that amazing curved bay window, but it was going to take some serious work to get it up to scratch. We started by ripping up the shag pile carpets and threw them out the window, literally. Then we painstakingly stripped the wallpaper off the walls. I'll never forget the hours of scorching water dripping down our arms. It was not nice. But with some tunes on, the vibes were high and we got through it. The room then kind of remained this dumping ground of boxes and suitcases for a few years whilst we focused all of our attention and efforts on our ground floor renovation. But when the time and the budget eventually came, we did start planning our new furniture layout in here, using our own online course templates and exercises to budget for the makeover, establish our requirements, and design our lighting and electrics. We also mocked up some design details that we knew needed to be planned prior to the first fix, for things like the bedroom panelling, the heating, and the fireplace design. So guys, when demolition gets underway, usually it's the electrician and the heating engineers or the plumbers that are the first trades in on a reno project. And before designing any room in any property, I always start by asking, is it going to be replastered? And if the answer is yes, I'll use that as a major opportunity to rip out and replan all new electrics, new lighting, and make the heating or plumbing upgrades that are necessary in the room. And this is important because chasing in wires is a really messy job, and if you're going to replaster anyway, you may as well get all the electric, lighting and any heating up to spec first, because it can be costly and compromise your design if you don't plan for this early on or try to retrofit upgrades later. So we chose a panelled wall behind the bed, which meant that the electrical points like sockets and switches had to be carefully measured prior to it being built. Meanwhile, we got our A-team heating engineers working under the floorboards to lay all the pipes for our radiator before the flooring went down. Oh, and actually, we wired in lighting on a dimmer as well. We installed Lightwave smart electrics to make the lights in our master bedroom switch on and off with the sunrise. They act a little bit like Lumi lights, if you've ever heard of those, helping with SAD symptoms. And years later, we're really chuffed that we did that. So while this first fix was underway, we turned our attention onto reinstating a decorative fireplace. And we hit a couple of issues here. The fireplace was obviously bricked up, so Neil had to open it up with a breaker drill, but bad times, his earplugs fell out without him actually realising, which led to hearing damage and permanent tinnitus. So definitely buy or rent some proper ear defenders if you're going to do any type of noisy work, even if you think you might not need them. Our hope was for the fireplace opening to be wide, but you really never know these things until it's broken through and you can see exactly where the lintel is to hold the weight above the chimney breast. But it turns out we were unlucky and it was a small and really off-centre opening which did nothing for my OCD. But we worked around it. We actually shoved a chimney sheet up to block the wind and downdrafts when it was opened up, and we fitted this small decorative fireplace insert with a bespoke fire surround to finish it off really nicely. It wasn't our first choice of fireplace design or era, but we didn't have much choice at such short notice, and I think that it certainly looks better than us just leaving it a bare wall with no features in the room like it was before. Next, we moved on to removing the skirting, and renovators do this to avoid needing scotia or beading when the flooring is actually installed, and it gives a really neat and more considered finish to the room. And check it out, we found this bendy skirting board that made installing around that curved bay a doddle. Here's Neil modelling it with his lockdown beard. With all the wiring and the heating now out of the way, that meant we could start the plastering, and it went smoothly until some of the plaster adhesive, this really sticky red stuff, got onto the brand new UPVC windows, which was so hard to remove, many hours of scraping with a Stanley knife. I definitely recommend masking the entire window frames with tape or something that's going to really protect your windows before your messy plasterer comes in. After miscoating the plaster, we then painted the room, and I always recommend try and do this before you lay flooring and the hearth to avoid any stubborn paint spills. Thankfully, we found this room really easy to choose colours for, and to be honest, anything was going to be an improvement on what we started with. Then we laid the flooring. The original pine floorboards were just too soft and prone to scratches, so we fitted this gorgeous parquet engineered oak floor and laid that over a strong 12mm plywood. And here's a little tip for you: instead of paying for a bespoke hearth that's cut to size, just choose a stone tile that you love and it's going to be a fraction of the price. So with the flooring and the painting all done, the second fix could begin, and we got our A-team back to hang the new curved radiator and the electrician fitting all the wall lights and socket faceplates. I actually recommend Corsten here. We use them on almost all of our projects and they're just gorgeous quality in all different finishes. But of everything we've done in the master bedroom, it's these wardrobes that have had the most impact on our lives day to day. Because once the bed went in, it's actually a pretty small room and we needed loads of storage in here. So we designed these fitted alcove wardrobes which double up as a hair drying and makeup station for me, not Neil, with full length mirrors actually inside all of the doors on 360-degree hinges so they can be pushed right back. I absolutely love good design, but especially when it makes your life just feel so much easier every day. Now onto these curved bay windows, because they're not the easiest to dress, believe me. Sourcing curved poles and the limited room we had either side of the windows meant that it was just a pain to source, and shutters were an easy yes for us. They make the exterior of the house look really smart, and they also give us plenty of privacy when we're getting changed in here without blocking any light. I highly recommend them. Then we furnished the room, we hung some artwork that we'd collected from our travels, and we laid some rugs in here to soften the space, and here we are. Now about that surprise, just look what we found when we lifted the old dusty carpets. Little did we know that in the 1930s, when this house was built, they actually used to lay newspaper underneath carpet to block drafts coming up between the gaps of the floorboards. And oh my god, finding these perfectly preserved newspapers felt like stepping back in time. Just look at the dates here, reading about how World War II was imminent and how Hitler was rising to power was so interesting. And in a way, it made us feel more connected to the house, learning about its heritage and what the previous owners might have been experiencing when they were decorating this place. I'll put a link below this video if you want to take a closer look at all these newspapers. We've got a blog post that you can zoom in and read them. I've also left links below this video for more information about the curved bay radiator, because I know some of you might have questions about that, the wardrobe fitting, the flooring, including suppliers and pricing, because I wrote loads of blog posts about those too. And guys, if you're renovating and you need support, then check out my other videos and my online courses. I've helped over 1,200 UK renovators now, and I'll leave the links below this video for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been really useful for you, and keep building those dreams.